This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Pop open ease.com to find out if your part of the Golden State is allowing for legal cannabis delivery. Ease.com will let you know right away because they've baked all of California's different rules and regulations for cannabis delivery right into their system. And because Ease is super picky about the dispensaries they choose to partner up with in their active areas, you know you're only going to find top quality legal marijuana products for delivery when you open up Ease.com, should you be so lucky to live where delivery is allowed. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Tuesday, April 10th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 465 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story today is the vote that took place yesterday in Pennsylvania, approving a proposal that I actually reported on yesterday to allow medical marijuana patients to purchase and use cannabis in flower form, just as long as it's with a vaporizer. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Cannabis in flower form comes with the benefit of lower costs compared to more processed consumption modalities like oils, tinctures, edibles, and concentrates, which are currently the only legal way for Pennsylvania patients to take their medicine. The state's Medical Marijuana Advisory Board passed the recommendation by a vote of 11-0, with one member abstaining from the vote. We'll report back more on this one, I'm sure, as dispensaries start to offer up vaporizable flower. Jumping one border over from Pennsylvania to Maryland, we have news that the State General Assembly voted yesterday in favor of a bill that would expand the ranks of licensed medical marijuana business owners. Yesterday was the last day of this year's Maryland legislative session, and the state Senate gave their final blessing to the bill that will boost the number of licensed medical marijuana growers from 15 to 22 and licensed processors from 15 to 28. This is a very long-running storyline on the show that I'm sure will be popping back up in future shows. Today's final top headline is a story over New Cannabis Ventures, pulling apart some of the numbers behind High Times Holdings, the corporation that owns the venerable High Times magazine and its associated Cannabis Cup series. As Alan Brochstein has it, the long-term balance sheet for the 44-year-old magazine is not looking good. According to a form filed with the SEC, High Times Holdings saw revenue fall in 2017 even as its costs boosted, leaving them $13 million in the corporate hole for the year. With just over $100,000 in cash and $4 million in assets offset by liabilities of more than $50 million, the path forward for the company to financial sustainability is not super clear. As with all of Alan's numbers-rich stories, this is one best clicked over to for the full read. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease.com is the perfect place to place your order for Golden State legal marijuana delivery, should you live in an area where it's allowed and where Ease is active. And ease.com/blog is where you turn for all sorts of useful legal marijuana industry insight and analysis run by the Ease team on their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. Ease saw one order placed through their online system an average of once every 10 seconds in 2017, so they're working with a big enough data set to really suss out some valuable bits of insight and wisdom, which again you can find over at ease.com/blog, with Ease spelled E-A-Z-E. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for all their work and for the support of our show. One last time, that's ease.com and ease.com/blog. All right, time for the Blitz. The Cannifornian has an excellent story up about a database it's been putting together comprising all of California's different rules and regulations for legal, medical, and adult use marijuana. In their piece published yesterday, the Cannifornian nicely parses some of that information drawn from the state's 540 city and county jurisdictions. This is one of those stories that you just need to open up to read in full. Speaking of parsing information, Marijuana Business Daily's chart of the week jumps into a graphical look at the 954 less than legal marijuana businesses sent cease and desist letters by the California Bureau of Cannabis recently for failing to properly pursue licensing. As seen in their chart, which is accompanied by a bunch of good extra context, the city of Los Angeles leads the state by a large margin in the number of letters issued. Tom Angel over Marijuana Moments picked up on some cannabis comments made by Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, a state with a soon-to-launch functional medical marijuana program. Senator Cotton would like to have his cannabis cake and be able to eat it too. Figuratively, of course, as he is in support of states being able to legalize marijuana, but does not think the federal government should change its laws at all to allow that to happen. Keeping our sights in Arkansas, we find marijuana activist David Couch, the driving force behind the ballot measure that successfully passed to allow medical marijuana back in 2016, saying that he has a ballot measure legalizing adult use ready to drop just as soon as the approval ratings for adult use marijuana ticks over 58%. It's currently closer to 52%. If you're into Arkansas news, this is a good interview to dive into. The LA Times took a look at how the electoral landscape for November's race looks for California Republican Representative Dana Rohrabacher, a noted champion of the legal marijuana industry, as well as an alleged member of President Trump's Russian collusion gang. Representative Rohrabacher has held his seat for 15 terms and faces some stiff resistance from a Democratic Party charged up by the ongoing disaster that is the Republican-led government. Yet another good article to read in full. With their second story of the day, New Cannabis Ventures picks up on news that Canadian company Canix Capital Holdings has signed a binding letter of agreement to purchase California-based marijuana extractor and processor Jetty Extracts in a deal valued up to $30 million. And finally for today, we wrap up with a swing back to Pennsylvania, where yesterday the state's director of the Office of Medical Marijuana reported that more than 28,000 people have applied to become medical marijuana patients, with around 10,000 already have been approved and issued cards. Director John Collins characterized the growth of the influx of applications by saying it was happening at, quote, an ever-increasing rate, unquote. Collins also said that the state should have 20 dispensaries up and running by the end of this month. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.